Okay. All right. So,
How's it going for you, David?
good. Really, really, really good. The physical therapist said I'm about a week and a half ahead of recovery schedule.
That's
I'm
very
doing
nice.
good. I'm walking. I'm using the walker about 30% of the time instead of 100%. And
That's amazing.
I mean, it's a big gash on the side of my leg, right?
Yeah.
They basically, what they do is do you know the procedure,
No.
Nishant?
Oh, what procedure did you get?
The total hip replacement.
Hmm.
What they
Nice.
do is they open the skin near the hip itself and they literally pull the muscles aside.
No.
They don't cut the
Wow.
muscles, they just and then they take the leg and dislocate it from the ball.
Hmm.
Okay. Then they slice off the top of the femur, which is the big bone on your leg, as it's been arthritically compromised, right? And they scrape out the cup that the ball goes into,
Hmm.
and they place a stainless steel cup there.
Hope you were sleeping through all of this.
Then in the femur, there's a spike they put in to the center of the bone with a stainless steel ball on it. Does that make sense? So now
Yeah.
there's a stainless steel ball at the end of
Yeah.
my femur, and it's on the instead of bone to bone, I have stainless steel to stainless steel. It's actually there's a silicone covering of both of
Okay.
those. So I went into the hospital right around 6:30 a.m. And there's paperwork, and then they start talking to you about things, and want to make sure what your name is, and they got the right leg, and the doctor actually signs the hip to make sure it's the right side, right?
Yeah.
Hey, makes sense. So then in pre-op, you're sitting there talking to the nurses, and one of the nurses goes over everything. Another nurse does this, and this. Then you go into the operating room itself. Okay. You're on a gurney. They only dropped me once, so it wasn't too bad. And then they, so you go into the operating room in the gurney, which is exactly the same height as the operating table. And they say, scoot yourself over onto the operating table. So you have an operating gown on, right?
Yeah.
So your butt is hanging out, and you just go over there. And now I'm lying on, I don't know what it was. It could have been stainless steel or something, but I'm lying
Yeah.
on this thing. Nurses are talking, and here comes the anesthesiologist talking and saying a couple of jokes, just really light banter. Then he takes the anesthesia, sticks it in my arm, right? I think he stuck it on my hand. Absolutely, the next thing I remember at all was 3 hours later, this nice nurse going, "You're waking up. You had a very successful surgery." So, Nishant, I've got a decent attention, a decent, self-observation. Not great, but good. I remembered nothing so there was 3 hours of blank out.
Hmm.
Where did my consciousness go? Doctor?
But you were not talking with them in anesthesia at all? Did they
I have
mention
no
something?
idea whether I was talking, juggling balls, uh,
He doesn't remember
eating.
anything. Just three
Yeah,
hours
because
later.
a lot of people don't remember it, but they talk
Don't. I
weird
remembered
stuff.
zero. Literally, I went out and I was gone. It's not like I fall asleep into a deep sleep and you think, wow, that was really good sleep. It was deep sleep. And I think I had some really interesting dreams. Nada, nothing, zero.
I think we have much deeper identification with the HBM than we believe to be.
Because I think you're right. Because I woke up and I was me again, right? I was the
Mhm.
same person. My daughter was there. I knew her name. I knew I was in the hospital. I immediately tried to get out of bed. Flop.
So, David, between the moments when you felt like you're going to sleep and then
I did not feel like I was going to sleep.
you went zip out.
It was like literally like a light switch. Click. 3 hours later, you're waking up. How nice. You had a great surgery, really successful.
Right. So
That's sweet.
between those two moments where you went down and then you came back up, did it feel like time had passed, or did it feel like, oh, I was just awake 5 minutes ago?
It was the next second was her waking me up.
Oh, interesting.
Time's going on, anesthesiology. The next second was you're waking up.
Yeah.
Question to Nishant is interesting. Where did your conscience went? But we must also take in consideration that during 8 hours each night, we don't we don't have an exact conscience because we only remember usually the last minutes before we wake up of those dreams. In the meantime, we go into a kind of hallucination, but it's a kind of hallucinations that it is real for us during that time. I don't know. In this case, the anesthesia goes into suspension, the conscious. I don't know. Nishant, as a doctor, what can you say?
Well, as I said, we have a much. We have a long ways to go, Bernie. Our identification is so strong, and any medication. I had the same experience when I came to US initially, 2004. I had severe, pain, and
Mm.
I told my sister I need to go to the emergency room. And that time I did not know anything about this country or the system and how it works. She took me to ER, and then they said, "Oh, maybe we should give him morphine." They gave me, I don't know, 2 milligrams, 4 milligrams, something morphine. just low dose. And I was out for 4 hours. Like how David went out, I went out just with not even anesthesia, just morphine, just a pain medication. And after 4 hours, when I woke up, they said, "Oh, we did the CAT scan, and you have a stone, and you need to do this and that, drink a lot of water." And I don't remember anything. Going to the CAT scan, doing nothing.
It's a very strange thing because there's no in a dream I can recall that I was in a dream state. Like when I wake up, I've done a lot of this dream work stuff that we do, but you kind of know that you're falling asleep if you pay attention. You can feel yourself flowing into sleep, right? In the sleep state. And then you can, in the hypnagogic state, you can sense yourself waking up. And in between, you may have many different types of dreams, including what they call deep, deep sleep, where there's no consciousness whatsoever burning. You're right. But this was like literally like a switch that turned my consciousness off for 3 hours. Thwap. And then there was this nice nurse saying, "You're waking up. You had a great surgery." I don't know what I had. There's a big, giant bruise on the side of my leg. There might be a small television in there for all I know. I don't know. Maybe they left a wrench.
Yes,
Well,
scissors,
in
scissors.
in dreams, like when you at least recall it in the morning, you'll recall that there is a dream self that is experiencing the dream and there is world around it. And so there is a self that is experiencing the dream. But it seems like in the blackout state that you are mentioning, it seems that there is no self in there. There is nothing that is experiencing anything.
Well, hang on, hang on. Let's actually look at what you're saying there. You're saying that there's no self. That I don't buy into yet. I'm certainly not aware of the self or its constituency. I wasn't aware of it. I
Right.
find it quite odd that when I woke up, I was what I call David again. That to me is just as weird, by the way.
You know, when I had my surgery, I was maybe 18, 20 years old. I was, of course, under anesthesia, but I remember perfectly well, and I can recall that I was, I heard perfectly how the doctors talked during my anesthesia. I
Oh,
even talked to them, and I saw that surgery from above. So I think it
okay.
was some kind of
No, that's not anesthesia. That's mild sedation.
no, no,
Aha.
no,
There are
no.
some
See,
procedures that is not done under complete anesthesia.
I don't think so because they were operating my hands, and I had a war injury. So I don't think.
That's local anesthesia. Local anesthesia and mild sedation. Then you are up awake. You can listen to what they are saying and all those things.
Well, I don't, I am sure of that. But anyway, I saw all the procedures of these guys from a distance, in a way,
Mm.
and they made jokes, and I answered them, but I don't know. A strange thing. Anyway, uh, who knows?
Yeah.
To answer the question of David, where did the conscious go? There is, there is a Zen answer, no? What did where maybe you know that question to the Zen master that says in that line, uh, where did my conscious gone? And he answers a kind of, tell me where it came from, and I tell you where it went. It's a kind of usual Zen answer, no? Because maybe we cannot answer that type of question beyond our comprehension. That is what I think.
Well, now that you're saying it like that, I didn't lose my consciousness. Because here it is. There was something about what I was able to be aware of that was switched off.
Interrupted.
I have
Yeah,
a
but it
similar
gets
question about hypnosis too. I've never gone through that, but it's always a curiosity that builds up. That is it the same as anesthesia or something?
It's a good question for a hypnotist. I actually know a hypnotist. I should ask her. I mean,
what sorry, what was Bhavani's question? Sorry.
It was about hypnosis that they put people in a hypnotic stage where they may not know what they're doing. So that is always been a curiosity for me, that what is that feeling like, when you're in hypnosis?
And that's the same feeling that how we get hypnotized by our own
Yes.
emotions.
That's what I was thinking as well.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the mechanicality that we mostly live by, and a shared hypnosis. There was that study where this guy goes into who are the African tribes that the great cow herders? I can't remember. It might be the Watusis, the big guys. And they can discern subtle differences between colors of cattle. Does
Hmm.
that make sense? Right?
Yeah.
To them, it's all like super distinct. And then the researcher showed them a TV, and they couldn't even grasp what was on the screen. It was just a light. So they had developed a deep awareness in one area and none in this other area. So I just think it was a fascinating event. And since we discuss consciousness, I thought I'd bring it up.
Passionate. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's when the seven bodies come into play. Uh, once you are develop those bodies.
Uh-huh.
Rajan keeps talking about the dream body.
Yes. I've got to go to some of his talks. I'm looking for my book, Seven Bodies of Man, but I'm not seeing it.
Because once you have developed the bodies, then those will
Right
stay.
there.
Otherwise, you will be it's just a talk.
Oh yeah, you can't.
Yeah, I see.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably, I don't know what it is. Do you have this book, Nishant?
Yeah, we read it on Sunday.
Really? In
Patricia
No,
is
it's the one we are
Pat-
reading.
Patricia,
Which one we are? Yeah, with
every
Patricia.
Saturday.
with who? Just you and
No, every Sunday. Lee Goldstein even is there. Yeah. It's
who?
very interesting. Lee Goldstein participate too.
Wow.
It's really nice, yeah.
Sunday or Saturday?
how do we get the
It's
Zoom
Sunday.
information for that?
Sunday at 4 p.m. and you can write
Yes.
to Patricia and she sent you the link on
Oh,
Sunday.
Pat is running it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh man. Hmm. And is it Rajan or what's your guy's name?
Rajan.
Rajan. He pops up on my phone every once in a while on, I think it's Instagram. I'm not quite sure.
Mm.
And it says a live event or something like that.
Yeah.
They
He
do
does quite a
yeah,
lot of
Alka.
live events. Yeah, they do quite a lot of live events, some in English, some in Gujarati. So there is a
Do
live
you ever go to
event.
that? Do you guys go to that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Somebody remind me of it sometime. I'd like to drop in. I remember him quite well and I really appreciated his work. So,
I can send you some of his YouTube recordings of his live videos.
sure.
The
Yeah.
channel.
You sent me one and it was very, very long and I wasn't able to listen to most of it. I would appreciate that, Olka. You know,
Yes.
But join the Zoom, David, so that way
Yeah.
you can interact.
Nishant, can you so when is this talk in English?
Sunday,
Uh,
5 p.m.
Oh, 5 p.m.
so 5 p.m. Indian time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So
5
what
p.m.
what
Indian
time?
time?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
like
what
4:30, right? AM.
Yeah, so I was wondering if there's any other talk in English, Nishant, apart from the Sunday one.
I mean, I don't have any Zoom links. I
Oh,
just join on
you.
YouTube.
yeah, it's 4
Ket-
4:30
Ket-
in the morning for me as well.
Keto has, I think, all the Zoom links.
But all the videos will be uploaded onto the YouTube, so you will find even the live
Yeah,
section of
that's why
YouTube.
I said I'll send a YouTube link. But I'll find out from Keita if there's another session at another time.
and
Yeah.
send me the YouTube links, Alka, also, please.
Yeah, send
Okay.
it to us. And
Yes.
then
Sure.
Rajesh, do you go to that too?
Sometimes, but mostly I go and listen the offline. It's after the event is done
Got it.
because of the timing.
Got it. Yeah. Wow. A lot
Dave,
of
I remember in one of the talk, we were reading something and Ketov joined, if you remember, and he was trying to make you remind of somewhere. So Ketov is the guy who organized all those things, and I think he helps a lot of stuff with this kind of scheduling and all. And he replied one of your questions. If you remember, I initiated that email chain that you were looking for some sutras in the Yoga Sutras.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very helpful, by the way. Just tell them it was very helpful for our little class, our little baby class. We're just beginners, you know. Thank you for that. Oh
Do
man.
we want to get into uh, the last chapter of practical work on self?
Or we can, David, we don't know how long do you sit for. If you want, then we can
What's
move to
that?
this. How long are you able to comfortably sit for?
Probably another 10 minutes or so, but don't worry, I can get up and walk around. I can still hear. I just
Okay.
have to take a different position,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, let me just say this on behalf of the group, David, that we really appreciate you being here.
Mhm.
I know it's too soon, but
But here I am,
you're
buddy. Yeah.
and you're recovering at a very fast pace,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
good.
Well, I hate to come to the end of any book because then it's like the end, right?
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Maybe we can just discuss what lies ahead after this book. Maybe that's something that is worthwhile discussing at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. What books did we do in that group already?
Well, uh, we started with HBM. We did the Human Biological Machine. Uh, and then we did The Invocation of Presence. And then this is the third book that we are doing.
That's it. We've only done 3.
I'm also thinking about maybe going back to HPM again.
We're very slow readers. We're like a beginner's class here.
I would love to. I would love to. I think there is so much in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I wouldn't go ahead.
we have guidebooks too that you could share.
What?
Maybe
Yeah.
we have some guidebooks that we worked together.
Yeah. I do have that.
They have the answers?
And no answers, only
Oh,
questions and
jeez.
and musings.
I had this idea, the Torah is the 2,000-year discussion of the first 5 books of the Bible, right? The ancient Jewish, and it's literally every different thing is discussed in detail. And I had this idea once before, right? Didn't I?
I don't know.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry, it's the Talmud. Not the Torah is the books. The Talmud is the live conversation that goes on for generations about literally every paragraph. I mean, I don't know how to do that or monitor that but it would be an online thing, right? What if we had an online HBM, but then you'd have to have somebody that could, what do you call it? Approve, edit, you know. And here's something that just came to mind. Let's say we're doing chapter 3 or something like that. There could be well, I know that Swati and Rajesh know the term sandbox. Do you know what that is, Swati?
Yes, I just worked a few months back on the Sandbox repository.
And tell us what the sandbox is, you or Rajesh. Rajesh.
So technically, when we do some POV kind of stuff, right? Before, like, we set up a prototype. So we tried with that. So it's like experiment thing.
This is in technical programming. You don't directly change the program, but you put it out for others to see and evaluate. That's how we should do it. Okay.
What, David?
We should somehow have the HBM online where you can't change the text, but you can comment on it. But before somebody comment is allowed to stay, there has to be an approval process. Does that make sense? That might be interesting.
Oh, I don't understand. You
Okay.
expand.
Yeah, okay, good. So here's this, okay? And the last hour of life, which is chapter 24, just say three pages into it, says, why suddenly, this is at the beginning, the bottom of page 176. Why suddenly has life become so very precious? Why does your attention cling to every micro movement and every slight sight, smell, sound, sensation? Why does your brain recount with nostalgia all the main events of your life? Why suddenly is everything you have failed to do in life important to you, even though there is nothing you can do about it now? That's a paragraph, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say somebody goes, okay, well, it's because of this. So they would comment on that specific paragraph. And let's say that there'd have to be a group somebody in charge of it, which is a lot of time. And then maybe there's 6 people or 8 people who are editors, and they would approve it for posting. Does that make sense yet, Bernie? In other words,
I understand, but I don't get the point. Are you proposing a kind of exercise?
yeah, that we write the Talmud, I mean the HBM, as if it were the Talmud.
Mhm.
Yeah. Hang on, I'll be right back.
You need the Bible?
No, I need the Talmud. You know what
But
that
it's
is?
different than the Bible.
It's commentary on. Yeah. Oh. Oh.
My reserve, if I understand what you are saying, David, and if you're there, my reserve to that exercise, let's say, is that, for example, in the HPM, no, in the ABD, there is a lot of literature that is not subject to rational thinking, or at least how I see it, because it's
So you would make that point.
I would make that point, but it's a reserve. I'm open. What I respect your your intelligence or whatever. You are pointing to something interesting, but anyway, I also it reflects something I understand that it's like, you know, trying some things cannot be explained in a linear way. They have to be absorbed. For example, I studied many years the what is called the teaching stories. The teaching stories, they were,
Nazamuddin,
sorry, yes,
the
they were designed not for the face value of itself, but they were designed, as I understand, they were designed to get through the usual rationalization we are up to. So they differ. They different. They are different from the usual stories, moral stories. You know, that brings morale and advice, because they are designed for penetrating the mind from a special point of view. And I think the ABD in this case, as Nishant and Nikhil read every day together, there are many things that we don't say we don't understand. Anyway, we read them and let those sentence and words penetrate as much as we can. And also, we are doing not for ourselves, but for the dead guys to help them the voyage. I hope you understand, because I am troubled a bit. Anyway, I'm sorry, but please continue on your vision of what you are seeing, David, please.
I think that the HBM is a foundational text. And I'm wondering if we shouldn't, if it might not be a good project to start gathering some of our thoughts about it in a much more specific manner. Like Satchidananda, I have a copy of his Bhagavad Gita. It's like 300 pages long, right? So because he takes one of the verses and he gets into it. He discusses it, he makes points about it, so on and so forth. Would that be helpful?
Why not?
To the universe?
You
Yeah.
can try. See. It's interesting. And 7 or 6 or 7 people, different personalities or whatever, will probably show a different aspect of the thing. Yes, why not?
But it might not, I mean, it may be something that a particular person who is, mature in the work, they might read it and it has meaning for them, but it has no meaning for me, or very little. So it illuminates that consciousness. So I'm talking about bringing more consciousness into the reading of one thing and start to make it available to others, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Did you ever see this?
The Wings of Chaos, yes. You know, all this time that you're talking about this, it reminded me of this website. I've been thinking about this, David.
Oh, that's great. That's telepathy.
See, each one, where are we now? Practical work on self. We didn't get that one done. Very, very little. Nothing. Joy sacrifice, work of groups. So, like just take chapter 7. That's the title of the chapter. And on top of that is the chapter abstract. And then very brief commentary by me. And then I don't know why I don't see the con. It says 2 responses, but I don't see what they are.
Is this your website, David?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Learning to ride the wings of chaos. I had a whole thing about the death poems. The last hours of life, it was everybody going through and saying, if you're willing, post a design of how you would design the period of time last left to you. It may be how you would like your funeral, your memorial, or you may want to design a room of your passing. Will you sing a song, participate, so on and so forth? And then maybe all these were lost. I wonder if oh no, here we go. Then all these people left something. Here's antimatter. Huh?
Nice.
Isn't that interesting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for showing it again. I think there are good material inside that can be explored again. I'm going to
Ivan Lurie.
use it. Yeah.
Now I understand, David. Thank you.
It's very peculiar to think about the last hour of life. You know, it is very interesting to get into that mindset of
Well, the whole point of it is that Raj. Okay, good. Thank you for sharing that, Alka.
I will
So,
notify once we have the session resuming. Once it resumes, I'll send you the link.
okay. Yeah. It's rare that I'm up at 3:30 a.m. Sometimes I am, but not
7
all.
p.m. would be like what, 5:30 a.m.?
It's basically 11 and a half hours earlier.
Yeah, 5:30 a.m.
Yeah. See, like right now it's 9:22 in Mumbai.
Yeah.
So you're 2.5 hours ahead plus 12 or something. Yeah. But the point is that so I would need I'll get to thinking about it, but how to do it, okay? And because the way I did it then, I had a different group when I was running. Let's see, is it still up? No.
There it is.
There we go. Jeez. No, that one. Sharing. Share this. Okay, so when I was doing this group, including Life in the Labyrinth, there was like how many did you come to that, Michelle? Were you around?
Yeah, I used to come to all of that. Yeah, it was in the barn. Yeah, we used
Yeah,
to do
yeah.
it in the barn. Yeah.
And we'd have like 10, 12, 15 people, something like that. And then I would call on 2 or 3 people to get, particularly if they've never worked together, prepare a summary for chapter 8. Okay. So here's chapter 8. I don't know, I might have just done this one. Anyway, it's maybe it was the hidden work. Yeah, it was the hidden work. So Jenny Gotts
Yeah.
and Becky put this summary together.
Yeah.
So it forced them into a position like we did that one exercise of, you're the teacher for the week. Remember that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so they would do that, and then they'd open the chapter and we'd do a discussion. It was very dynamic. So I'll try to figure out how to do that with this. I have an idea. Anyway, just some thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost at the end of the hour, and we don't want to keep you too long here, David. So, do we want to
So,
land this plane here?
well.
It's up to you. You're the leader.
Uh-oh.
You're in charge of everything, Nikhil. The entire world today.
Number one. You're number one.
So we have to read the chapter Last Hour of Life for next time, and then we have to say
That'll
what
be
we
good.
think about. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't find my book. I lost my book. I can't read English anymore since the surgery. But I can
Excuse
play the
number.
violin, interestingly enough.
Excuse number.
29.
Let's see. Does anybody want an excuse to get ready so they can have it?
Okay.
Yeah. I wasn't exactly quite sure what you wanted. That's a good one.
That's a valid excuse.
I have one.
Give us your best shot.
I just had a major surgery.
What a wimp. Yeah, I think I can use that one for about 3 or 4 more weeks, right, doctor? My doctor said. Well, it's lovely to see each and every one of you. It's fantastic. This is such a powerful moment for me each week. And I'm glad that we're able to meet together and everybody's able to come at least a little bit. So I'll look forward to seeing you next week, right?
Yes.
See you guys next week. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And thank you.